high. So last one. This time we're going to ask the question, how high can your catapult launch an item? And this time, just like last time, you're going to be working with one item. You have the added challenge this time of measuring height. That's going to be a little more complicated. And when you're measuring height, I want you to either tape your measuring tape, the one that zips out and locks, like we talked about in previous videos, or you could use one like a meter stick up against the wall. But whatever it is, you have to tape it to your wall, or maybe somebody holds it, because you will need a partner for this. This is a two-person activity. So you take your catapult, you make 10 launches, and each time the person who is looking at the measuring tape that's on the wall names out how high they think the item traveled. And this is going to take a little bit of estimating and guesswork, but you're just going to do your best with it. And it helps if one person does all the launches and one person makes all the calls. But these go pretty quickly, so you can tell somebody. It will only take you 5 minutes, because it probably won't even take that long. So you set up your measuring tape, you have somebody check the wall as you launch, you get the measurements for the height for all 10 launches, and you number crunch them just like we did before for the distance. And remember to use centimeters, because inches are complicated. So centimeter measurements. Number crunch, and you get a baseline. This is the average or the median height that you are getting your items to launch. And then you think about how could you modify or change your catapult in order to get items to travel even higher. And you make modifications and you test with 5 launches and you check. And if your 5 launches are going higher than your your baseline data, then you know you're successful. And it may take you several changes on your catapult in order to actually get something to go a little higher. So be persistent and stick with it. And when you finish today, what you're going to end up with is data that tells us how you figured out your baseline for this experiment. And then the modifications, which you might draw a new diagram of your modified catapult. That could be an easy way of showing your modifications. And then the data that was the second launch data that proved that you were actually going past your baseline height. And that will be your final catapult science activity. But there's more catapults in your future.